Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Scouting. Today we're jumping right into an awesome piece of survival history. We're looking at a classic guide from Scouting for Boys, specifically Campfire Yarn number 18, Health-Giving Habits. What's really cool here is how this text frames personal health. It's not just some boring daily chore, it's literally a scout's ultimate, non-negotiable tool for survival in the wild.
Okay, so let's set the stage here. Picture this. You're out in the wild, exploring unknown territory, maybe setting up camp. Guess what? There are no doctors around to save you if things go south. Your body is, without a doubt, your absolute most critical piece of equipment. You just can't help others, or even survive a crisis yourself if you haven't mastered your own physical and mental health first.
To figure out exactly how to build this ultimate Scout tool belt, here is our roadmap for today. We're going to cover the foundation of Scout health, the serious dangers of smoking and alcohol, the absolute power of self-control, the perks of early rising and smiling, and we'll wrap up with some classic Scout games to build endurance.
All right, Part 1, Foundation of Scout Health, the Armor of Cleanliness.
To be a highly capable scout, you can't just sit back. You've got to actively fortify your body. This guide lays out some pretty straightforward daily habits. We're talking about keeping your blood pure by breathing in massive amounts of fresh air, drinking a ton of water every single day, and, this is key, getting your exercise in before you even start your morning work. It's a completely proactive approach to keeping your body's engine running perfectly.
Moving on to Part 2, the dangers of smoking. Because a scout is definitely not a fool.
Take the story of Tom the Tenderfoot, for example. The manual uses Tom to highlight a super common trap. See, Tom thought smoking was going to be this fun, grown-up thing to do, but instead, it quickly left him miserable, sick, and literally slumped against a tree. It's this total illusion of maturity that actually sets a scout way back.
And beyond just looking silly and feeling awful, the text points out that smoking actively destroys your operational capabilities in the field. It completely wrecks your sense of smell. And you know that is an absolutely crucial skill for tracking. Plus, it weakens the heart, which makes total sense why top soldiers and athletes avoid it like the plague. Part 3, the threat of alcohol. The second major trap.
So, just like Tom's miserable mistake with smoking, the guy gives us a really sobering reality check about drinking. It recounts this story of an old soldier who resorted to begging for money. Because he relied so heavily on beer and tobacco, the guy became completely unemployable. His habits just totally destroyed his physical capability and his independence.
The whole thing is summed up with this heavy quote: "Strong drink makes weak men." And according to the guide, this ancient legend is spot on. Relying on alcohol just drags you down a really dangerous path toward crime, madness, and deep poverty. Ultimately, it causes a person to completely neglect their family and their core duties as a scout.
Part 4, Power of Self-Control, the Shield of Willpower.
Now, the guide offers a truly brilliant perspective shift here. Facing the temptation to smoke or drink, it isn't just a hazard, it's actually a test. The text suggests you should literally be glad to face these secret flaws and internal temptations. Why? Well, because identifying them and actively defeating them is exactly what forges true, unbreakable strength. Think of it like resistance training for your willpower.
Part 5, Early Rising and Smiling, the Spirit of a Scout.
You guys have to hear the incredible math of early rising presented in this text. If you wake up just 1 hour early every single day, you gain 365 extra hours a year. When you actually calculate that out, waking up an hour earlier effectively grants you an entire 13th month of waking life. Talk about a massive strategic advantage, right?
This echoes that classic proverb, "Early to bed and early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise." The manual backs this up with his strict rule from the Duke of Wellington. His rule was incredibly simple, but totally ruthless. When it is time to turn over in bed, it is time to get out of it. Period. No hitting the snooze button.
But waking up early is really only half of the scout spirit. Your attitude matters just as much. The guide brings up Pathfinder Captain John Smith, who firmly believed that lacking a smile actually means lacking health. A truly strong scout is expected to endure hardship cheerfully. Even when they're in pain, they keep that smile going and never, ever let the struggle show on their face.
Finally, Part 6, Scout Games for Endurance. It's time to test those tools.
The first game they highlight is the relay race. You form rival patrols and station scouts at intervals across a 2-mile stretch. The whole goal is to quickly relay a message, or even a physical token like a sprig of a plant, across that distance. It's such a perfect, practical way to build and test your cardiovascular endurance and your teamwork all at once.
Another awesome physical test they detail is spear throwing. Scouts practice aiming blunt sticks at a canvas bag stuffed with straw. It heavily tests coordination, upper body strength, and precision. And honestly, all of those things require a healthy, well-maintained physique to pull off properly.
The crucial point here is learning from history to improve our physical skills. The manual points out how Australian Aboriginals brilliantly use a piece of wood as a throwing stick. It artificially extends the length of their arm. This incredibly clever mechanical advantage lets them throw spears with just unbelievable force and distance. As we wrap up this explainer on the health-giving habits from Scouting for Boys, it's clear that true capability comes from daily discipline. It's all about having clear lungs, a strong heart, mental resilience, and the sheer willpower to avoid life's traps. So, ask yourself, which of these timeless, foundational tools are you going to actively equip to become a stronger, more capable scout today?